Hi everyone, my name is Isa and I work for the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester. So, first of all, thank you so much for coming along to this workshop. It's going to be absolutely great and I can't wait to get started. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating our own characters. So, we're going to start with nothing and we're going to build it up bit by bit into whatever you want it to be. And that's possibly the most fun part. It can literally be whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to lead you through some activities and give you some instructions, and they're all based around helping you develop your character. For this, you'll probably want some pens, some paper. You might also want some crayons or some pencils or felt tips to do any drawings or to decorate anything as well. Also, if your parents are in the room with you, it'd be great to get them involved. They can either help you with your character or they might want to make a character of their own. And they might want to make a little world with your character and their character in together. It's totally up to you, but let's crack on. Before we get down to any character work, I think it's really important that we warm ourselves up, both our bodies and our minds. So, you might want to stand up for this. You can stay sat down if you want, but it might be better to stand up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some jogging on the spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 seconds of jogging, then 5 seconds of sprinting, 10 seconds of jogging, 5 seconds of sprinting. If you sat down, the easiest way to do it is just to move your legs like this, up and down while you sat. And when it comes to the sprint part, move your arms and legs really fast as you can. If you stood up, we'll get to jogging on the spot. So we'll do 10 seconds of jogging, 5 seconds of sprinting, 10 seconds of jogging, 5 seconds of sprinting, yeah? Awesome. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Jog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now sprint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now jog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now sprint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I feel warm now. So now we're going to move on to some stretches. So the first stretch we're going to do, we're going to try and stretch up to the ceiling with our arms. So we're going to start here and we're going to move our arms up and see how far we can stretch to the ceiling. See how far you can get. Can you touch the ceiling? Oh. Now we're going to try and touch our toes. So we're going to bend down and try and touch our toes. Ready? Let's go. Can you do it? Can you touch your toes? I don't think I can. Oh, I bet you guys can though, can't you? Now we're going to stretch out to the right of us. So with our right hand, we're going to stretch out to the side like that. And then with our left arm, we're going to stretch out to the left like this. Should we go through those one more time? Yeah, awesome. So the first one, remember, is stretch up to the ceiling. Maybe get on your tippy toes as well. Then we're going to stretch down to our toes, so let's go. And then we're going to stretch out to the right. And then we're going to stretch out to the left. Brilliant. Now that our bodies are all stretched out, let's warm up our face. I want you to imagine that you have just gone and picked up the yummiest bit of toffee in the world. So, you've picked it up, you've got it in your hands. Now, you're going to eat it. And it's really nice. But then you notice it starts to get a little bit bigger. And it's a bit harder to chew now. And it gets a bit bigger and a bit harder to chew as well. So you go, But then it gets smaller and softer. And now it's smaller and softer again. And now you're going to swallow it. I think I'm almost ready to go. Really, really close. But I think that one more activity just to wake our bodies up is just what we need. So for this last activity of our warm-up, we're going to shake out our whole body. And the way we're going to do this is with something I like to call the funky chicken. So for the funky chicken, what we're going to do is we're going to shake our right hand 8 times, left hand 8 times, right leg 8 times, left leg 8 times. Then we're going to do it 4 times on each part, then 2 times, then 1 time, and then we're going to shake out and go funky chicken. So follow after me. It's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Funky chicken. Do you think you can do that? I don't know about you, but I am really, really warmed up and ready to go now. I hope you are too. So, let's crack on. Now that we're all warmed up, let's get to task number 1. For this task, I want you to find a picture of someone. Now, this could be absolutely anyone, although it is best to not use people in your house, people that you know, or celebrities. What we want is you to find a totally random person, a real person as well. It is best not to use cartoons. So we want to find a real person. Now you can find these in newspapers, magazines, paintings, books, or if all of those fail, just go with Google Images and just type people or person. Try that in Google Images and see what you find. But any of those will work absolutely perfect. What you want to do is you want to find an interesting picture that really sparks your imagination. So when you look at the picture, you go, I've got an idea about that. Or, oh, that makes me think about this. But anything will do. Just have a look around, see if you can find any pictures. What's best to do now is pause this video and go look around your house or go look in magazines or on the internet and see if you can find a picture of someone. Anyone will do, remember? Once you've got that, we'll get on with task number 2. So, task number 2. Now that we've got a picture of our character, which is absolutely great, what we want to do is now we want to have some more information about them. So we want to know certain things about the character. So what would be great now is if you get some paper and a pen, and I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to answer those questions as if you were talking as the character. So, shall we begin? Question number 1. So for this question, we want you to put a name in. So who is it? What's their name? Who are they? How many names do they have? Do they have a long name? Do they have a short name? It can be whatever you want it to be. But first question, this is who? What's their name? Number 2. They are years old. So for this question, we just want to know how old they are. Can be whatever you want again. But how old is your character? Number 3. In the daytime, they like to. So for this question, what does your character like to do during the day? This could be anything. It could be going to school, it could be going to work, it could be reading a book, it could be playing football, it could be swimming. anything. It could be absolutely anything, whether it's a hobby or whether it's something they have to do like school or work. What do they like to do? Before. They like to do this with. So, for this question, who do they like to do these activities with? Whatever activity it is, whatever you chose it to be, who do they like to do it with? Do they like to do it on their own? Do they like to do it with friends, family, maybe a pet? Can be anything you want. Who do they like to do it with? Number 5. They love this because... So, for this question, why do they like doing it? Is it because they learn something from it? Is it because it's playful and it's fun? Is it because it's exercise? Is it because they get to meet new people? Why is it? Why do they enjoy doing what they do? Number 6. Sometimes they also like to. So, can you think of anything else that your character might like doing? It could be something completely different to the first thing that you've decided, or it could be something quite similar. It's totally up to you guys, but let's try give your character 2 things that they enjoy doing. So, this is the second one. What is it? 7. Your character likes to do this second activity because... So, like you did with the first one, we just want you to kind of explain why they like to do this activity. It could be for any number of reasons as I listed before, but why do they like to do this other activity? Number 8. They live in a... with... So, this question's a bit of a 2-parter. So, the first part of the question is, where do they live? And what do they live in? So, do they live in a house? Do they live in a flat? Do they live on a boat? Are they like the old lady who lived in a boot? Where do they live? And then the second part is, who do they live with? Do they live with family? Do they live with friends? Do they live with their arch enemy? Who is it? Just to recap, we want to know where they live or what they live in and who they live with. Number 9. When your character sleeps, they dream about... So for this question, we want to know, what does your character dream about when they sleep? Do they dream about anything? Do they dream about growing up and being famous? Do they dream about being a princess or a queen or a king or a prince? Do they dream about being a hero who fights dragons or a knight who saves the damsel in distress? It could be literally anything, but what does your character dream about? Question number 10. Finally, your character secretly wants to... So for this question, we want to know, what does your character want to do? They might already be old, so it's not necessarily about growing up to be something or growing up to do something. It's just, what does your character want to do? It might be right now, it might be in 5 minutes, it might be in 1 year, it might be in 10 years, or it might be in 100 years, depending on how long your character lives for. But what does your character want to do? Brilliant. Now that all those questions have been done, and I bet you've got some brilliant answers for your character, we're going to move on to task number 3. So, now we get to move on to task number 3. Now, task number 3 is going to be super fun because this one is all about bringing your character to life. So you're going to be answering some questions, but instead of answering those questions by writing them down, you're going to answer those questions by getting up and moving around. So, are we ready to do some moving? Part 1. So, for this part, I want to know, how does your character stand? It's totally up to you. I'm going to give you some ideas, but you are totally welcome to come up with your own ideas as well. So maybe your character likes to stand strong and proud and tall, kind of like Superman looking out across the city. Or maybe they're hunched over like this, ooh, like a bad guy, like a villain, like,
rocking around like that. Or maybe they like to squat down a lot and think, like they're Sherlock Holmes or a detective. They're just some ideas, but you're welcome to come up with your own ones as well for your character. It's whatever you feel suits it best. Now, if your character was going to freeze in a position, I want you to imagine what that position would be. So use that stance, use the ideas that you've just thought of then, and I want you to make a freeze frame and hold it for 10 seconds. Now we've got how your character stands, we're going to move on to part 2. How does your character walk? So, how does your character walk? This is split into 3 different sections. The first section is how fast does your character walk? So, does your character walk really, really fast as if they're in a rush or they're late for something or they really need to get somewhere urgently? Or does your character walk quite slowly, like they're not really in a rush and they're just enjoying their time? Either one is totally up to you, but does your character walk fast or slow or maybe somewhere in the middle? But how fast does your character walk? The second one is how big a steps does your character take? So, does your character like to take huge steps like this? Or do they like to take little steps like this as they're walking? How do they move? This was probably dependent on how long their legs are and how tall they are. Tall people usually take big steps, whereas smaller people usually take smaller steps. So it's totally up to you guys, but how big a step does your character take? The final part of this is, where is your character's head when they walk? Is it up, looking at the sky or looking at the clouds? Is it down, looking at the floor, looking at their toes? Or is it straight ahead? Is it slightly to the left? Is it slightly to the right? Where does your character like to look when they walk? Once you've worked out those 3 questions, we've then pinned down how your character walks. So, now that we've walked the walk, part 3 is all about how does your character talk. So, how does your character talk? Now this has 2 parts to it. The first part is, does your character have a high-pitched voice or a low-pitched voice? Is it, "Hi, up here, my name is Isah"? Or is it down here, like, "Hello, my name is Isah"? Where does your character's pitch lie? Is it high pitch or low pitch? The second part of this is, does your character have an accent? So you might have decided that your character is from a certain place in the world or a certain place in the UK that might speak slightly different to you do or I do. So does your character have an accent? Now this could be any accent in the world. It doesn't matter. It's whatever accent you want them to have. So does your character have an accent? So we've walked the walk. We've talked the talk. We've got those things down for our character. The final thing we want to know about our character is, what is their facial expression like? So, facial expressions. I'm going to give you some suggestions of some possible face expressions that your character might have. However, you are perfectly welcome to come up with your own. I'm just going to give you some suggestions. There are 3 things that I like to focus on when working with facial expressions, and that are eyebrows, eyes and mouth, because they're the things that tell you most about what a character is trying to express. An example of this is smiling. So when I'm smiling here, you can see my eyebrows are raised, my eyes are quite wide open and my mouth is quite upwards. As you can see here, I'm frowning, which means my eyebrows are quite low, my mouth is quite pressed up and tight, and my eyes are quite tight as well. So that was a shocked expression. So as you can see, eyebrows are up, eyes are open, and mouth also wide open. So that was my excited face. So as you can see, my eyes are quite squinted, my eyebrows were quite low, but my mouth was massively grinning. So that was my I'm thinking face. You could tell that one eyebrow was raised, one eyebrow was lowered. Same with my eyes, one was slightly more open than the other, and my mouth was quite shut. Those were just some ideas of facial expressions that people usually use on a day-to-day basis. They're quite common expressions. If you want to make up your own, that's totally fine.
So, now we've got our stance, we've got our walk, we've got our talk, and now we have our facial expression. So we have the 4 most important things about our character's physicality down.
Brilliant. So, if you completed all of those tasks, then you now have a character. How great is that? If you want to go through the video again and change anything about your character, or maybe you want to make new characters, you want to make a whole family of characters, that's brilliant. But for now, with the character you've just made, we're going to get up and have some fun with them.
So, now we've completed our character. We've answered all the questions and we've got everything we need to know about the character. So I want you to remember all of that information, bring it all together, and now we're going to become our character. And the way we're going to do that is I'm going to count down 10 seconds, right? And while I'm counting, we're all going to be shaking, we're all going to be transforming, and we're going to be turning into our character. Then, when I get to 0, what we're going to do is we're going to jump and we're going to land in the pose of our character. Remember the freeze frame that I told you to take before? What we're going to do is we're going to jump and we're going to land in that freeze frame. Have you got that? Right then, let's go. So, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, my name is Edward. What's your name? Sorry, I didn't hear that. What's your name? Ah, well, it's lovely to meet you. Hello. Today, I am going on an adventure. Would you like to come with me? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. Would you like to come with me? Brilliant. Well, shall we get started then? First of all, let's go on a little walk. Can you see that? Over there? It looks like a rocket ship. Should we go and have a look? Wow, look how huge this ship is. It is massive. I wonder if we can find a way inside. It would be so cool if we could see what it's like to be in the space shuttle. Wow, what a cool rocket ship. Look how big it is. Look how many buttons there are. Look how many lights there are. This is so cool. I wonder what happens if I press this button. Nothing. What about this button? Nothing. I wonder what happens if I press this button. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh! Can you feel that? Oh, I think the rocket's taking off. What do we do? It looks like we're gonna go to the moon. I think we've landed on the moon. Wow, I can see the Earth. We're on the moon and I'm looking at the Earth. Can you see it too? Wow. What do you think? Should we go and have a look around? I think we should. Wow. I've never been to the moon before. Have you? Look how cool it is. Look how big it is. It is huge. How amazing is this? Oh, I wish I could stay here forever. Wow. Look over there. I think I just saw an alien. Should we go and say hi? Or should we hide? What should we do? I think they're friendly. I think we should go say hello. What do you want to do? Well, I'm going to go say hello, but you guys can do whatever you want to do. Hello, Mr. Alien.
Well, hello there.
I hope you're having a nice day. I know we are. We've just come on a trip to the moon. We came on that rocket over there. How did you get here?
We did not come here, we live here.
You live here?
Yes, that is correct, we live here.
How long have you lived here?
We have lived here for thousands of years.
Wow, that's a very, very, very long time. How cool is this? Oh, I can't believe we've made friends with aliens on the moon. How cool is this? But it looks like it's breakfast time and I want some breakfast. I think I'm going to go back to Earth. Are you guys going to come with me? Come on then, let's go back to the rocket. Back in the rocket. We've had such fun meeting our alien friends, haven't we? Yes, this has been such a great, great, great day. And I think now is time to go home. I think we're back on Earth. I must say I'm tired. We've done so much today. It has been brilliant. I'm so glad to be back in my room where I can relax though. But how cool has today been? We went to the moon, we met some aliens, we went on a ride in a real rocket ship. It has been so super duper duper fun. But I think it's time for me to go now and get some food because I am very hungry. But I'm gonna say goodbye now. So this is me, Eddie, saying goodbye. Bye! Well, I hope you had as much fun as I did playing around as our characters. Honestly, it has been so fun. But if you ever want to do all that again, all you have to do is rewind this video, go back to the start, and you can do it all again. You could make a new character, or you could just do a journey to the moon again as many times as you want. But thank you so much for coming and getting involved with this activity today. It has been so much fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it too. Bye.